Good morning, my friends. I have the honor to introduce to you Mr. Pankaj from India. He is actually trying to help us here to understand what we need as a medical facilities, hospitals in our Red Sea cluster to improve our hospitality services and so on. I will leave the mic for him to introduce himself firstly, then we will go for at least the main two questions to have the answers from his perspective. Mr. Bakaj, most welcome. Please, the floor is yours.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very, very much for this opportunity. And I thank all, or I am very grateful that this conversation can help any hospitals or service providers or doctors to prepare themselves for the international medical tourism. And of course we will talk more about what does a patient look for and what are the expectations from the hospitals. So I'm back. A quick introduction: my name is Pankaj Chandna. I am the co-founder of Vaidam Health. We are an online platform, and we started this business 5.5 years ago, to be precise January 2016. And so far we have helped almost about 3,000 patients receive medical treatment in multiple destinations. We are working with network of hospitals not only in India, which was our first destination, but right now we are sending patients to Turkey, we are sending patients to Dubai, we have sent patients to Spain, France, and now we are looking forward to start journey in Egypt. So this is a background about our company, and this is what we do.
It's my pleasure, and thank you for the introduction. Of course, with this long time of experience, I would like to start with the first question. As a medical tourism facilitator or coordinator company, what is your expectation? What do you expect the medical facilities in any destinations? Here we are focusing on Egypt, but it's a general question actually, to have or to help you when you have a patient and you want to coordinate or to cooperate with them.
Yes. So, sir, our expectations as a medical facilitator derives from the expectations of the patients. So what is a patient looking for, or what do we look for? Let me walk through the journey, how this starts. It starts when a patient leaves their inquiry on us and they want us to find the right treatment for them, the right price for them. They share their medical reports to the best of their abilities, which is either produced by the local doctor, local hospitals, or sometimes in their local languages. So we receive those medical reports and we send it to the hospital, whosoever point of contact they assign to us. We send the medical reports to them. While talking to the patients, we try and gather as much information, like what all treatments they have already taken, what medications they are taking, are they allergic to something, any surgeries done in the past, what are their expectations from the surgery, chief complaints, everything. I mean, like a clinical notes we capture, and also the medical reports we get from the patient, and we send all these details to the hospital. Now we request the hospital take these document and the clinical notes to the treating surgeon and show them the details and ask for their medical opinion. What do they think a patient is going to need and how he's going to be benefited? And then please share those doctor opinion with us. Now there are two very important things here. Number one, the treatment plan itself, and number two, the cost of treatment. Sometimes we realize that doctors, they are taught, they have worked in a certain way where they want as much information as possible to arrive at the right line of treatment. To actually diagnose, doctor has to do a lot of investigations. Unfortunately, the countries from where we receive these inquiries, they may not be that well equipped. So we cannot expect patients to have all the medical reports available. And that is where the struggle begins, because patient says, unfortunately I do not have anything more. And the doctor at the treating facility, they want little more information to arrive at the right line of treatment. So in such cases, we always request the hospital to at least give us a tentative line of treatment. Maybe doctor feel patient may require surgery A or surgery B or surgery C. It is okay to give all the options available, that something a typical a good response could be, okay, we welcome the patient to come to our hospital, we will run more investigations. Let's say if it's a case of cancer, we will do biopsy, a PET CT scan, or all the other cancer marker tests. And depending on the stage of the cancer, we can either go for a surgery or chemotherapy or radiation. And based on that, we can give the cost element for all three of them. If patient is suitable for surgery, the cost of surgery will be this much. If the cancer is found to be metastatic, then the patient would require chemotherapy, the cost of chemotherapy will be so and so. And if patient requires only radiotherapy, then it will be this cost. Same is happening when it comes to spine, because many a times patients struggle to get high quality MRI images, which any neurosurgeon or spine surgeon wants to see to arrive at the right line of treatment. So even in those cases, if we say the patient may need either microdiscectomy or may need stabilization of the spine with fusion, and the cost, if it is only microdiscectomy, will be this much, or if patient needs fusion, then the cost will be this much. Because please understand, from a patient perspective, he is not testing the knowledge of the doctor. He is not here to test how good is the doctor to diagnose my problem. He is actually preparing his budget, because they are traveling from a far known country. They are not coming from your city or a city 100 kilometers away where they can go back, spend 3 more weeks to collect money and come back. When a patient travel outside their country, they need little bit of predictability in terms of price. So if you say the cost will be $6,000 and price goes up to 6,500, it is fine. They are somewhat prepared. But if we have given an estimate of $6,000, and after coming we say that, oh no, it is $10,000, and if patient has to go back, please understand, he has wasted his time, his flight, his hotel, his leaves, his family. So this is the main reason what patient is looking for, a little bit of predictability. What am I going to go through and what is the cost I expect? And if patient says, yes, I am ready for this course, he initiates on the next step. So the first thing, as I mentioned, it's a long story, sorry, the long answer. The first thing we need is a good response from the doctor. I understand the challenges on the doctor side. They may not have the full information. Even if the doctor can give line of treatment tentatively, at least patient can plan themselves financially. That's number one. And number two, we would highly encourage hospitals to set up a turnaround time. Whenever we send an inquiry, please try your best to send the response in 24 to 48 hours. It is not wise that we respond after 1 week or 5 days to a patient who is looking forward for his treatment. It actually shows the inefficiency of a system, that they are not able to get the response on my reports from a doctor in 4 days. What will happen if I actually arrive? Will I have to wait 4 days just to meet a doctor? So our agility in response also give them a confidence that we are here to serve you at the best possible service rate. So this is something which happens before the patient comes. All this is we are talking to convert a patient, like quality query response, pricing tentatively, and the time of response. Now, there are certain expectations which come when the patient actually arrives, when they land in the country. And sometimes there are some steps which may happen for some patients, which may not happen for other patients. For example, some patient may need help in terms of their visa invitation. I don't know the visa regulation for all the countries eligible to Egypt. Maybe let's say Egypt offers visa-free access to a Libyan or a Sudanese, but Egypt may ask for a visa or like a visa to be available for, let's say, a Nigerian patient. And if he asks our help to help him get the visa, he may need a visa invitation letter from the hospital, that the hospital is inviting me for the treatment, and he will submit his passport. The hospital will write a letter that we have seen the medical reports of the patient and we feel he needs to undergo this surgery. Patient will be traveling with one attendant who is the father, mother, husband, wife, blah blah blah. This is the passport number of the patient, this is the passport number of the attendant. So patient needs such assistance on the visa side. Now, when there are some hospitals which, as a policy, do not write visa invitation letter very easily, because obviously writing a visa invitation is also a legal. You are entering a legal requirement. There are legal implications, so to say. So some hospital asked for some assurance from the patient that the true objective of coming to the country is medical, and they would want, hospital would say, okay, we can issue a visa invitation letter to you, but you will have to make some advance deposit towards your treatment. Now this gives a reasonable amount of confidence to the hospital that yes, this is a genuine patient who is genuinely looking to travel only for the medical reason. Maybe he wants to enter Egypt for some other business purposes, or we don't know, whatever XYZ reasons, and we don't want to become a channel or a conduit to misuse our visa invitation letter to enter the country. So it is okay if hospital says, we need, let's say, 10% advance deposit or 20% advance deposit towards the treatment cost, so that hospital is reasonably sure that the visa is not going to be misused, and that money can be used against the total treatment cost once the patient arrives. So all those things are happening before the patient plans to come. Finally, after we gave them the visa invitation letter, patient books their flight tickets, they share their arrival details. And since they are coming to an unknown country, they would expect some help here as well. They would expect that someone would receive them from the airport. It could be a medical facilitator company like us, or it could be hospital, but they want to, just to be on the safer side, they would appreciate that someone receives them from the airport and maybe book a hotel near the hospital for them, so that they can be taken there, and next day the appointment is booked, they can meet the doctor. So this part one of the story is before patient actually walks into your door. Now there are certain things which have to happen once patient comes into the hospital. Maybe patient needs help in terms of language interpretation. If he speaks Arabic, it's fine, it's perfect, because in Egypt also they speak Arabic language. But what if patient is coming from a French speaking country and he needs someone to guide him or do the interpretation for the doctor? So can a hospital help the patient for a language interpretation? Or if hospital cannot, can a company like us? So this is our regular service. We have interpreters on our roll, and when a patient comes, we help them. So the other, these are the an overview of let's say maybe 36,000 view of how the business works. I hope Mr. Dr. Asad, this helps you in some way.
Very clear, and it's fair actually to ask for, because this is the basics that that hospitals has to do with the patient if they want patients come to them. What do you say to the hospitals that may got frustrated somehow if they got many requests from me, from you, from any patients directly, and then patient doesn't come due to any reason?
Right. No, this happens for sure, sir, because when patient decides to travel, everyone likes to shop around. Maybe they are talking to more hospitals in your country. Maybe they are talking to hospitals in other country as well. And please don't forget, it is quite possible that someone in their own country is trying to tell them, oh, you know what, I can do this surgery for you right here. You don't need to travel. So patient has to decide a lot of factors. It's not an easy decision to travel for medical treatment. He has to see, okay, what if I get it operated in my own country? What if I travel to country A? What if I travel to country B? So on and so forth. So yes, the conversion rate for an international patient is not very high. I mean, do not expect if you receive 100 inquiries, all 100 of them will travel. our experience so far has been that between 5% to 10% of the inquiries convert it into actual business. 90% of the patient will not be able to do so for many reasons. Maybe they cannot afford, maybe they are very, very, poor, and they just can't afford the treatment, or they maybe went for some other alternative.
Good. So you are giving an expectation of 5 to 10% from the inquiries coming. So I'm just wanted to make sure that my friends in hospitals now are hearing us, because they are expecting that everybody is sending an inquiry will come, and this is gives them some time of work, and then after that people doesn't come. But if I may add something from my side, that they have to improve their presentation, offer social media presence, website, so people when they are shopping around, they will find them the best to come, either in Egypt or as a comparison with another hospital in another country. Okay, my last question.
I will add one thing here just to
Yes, please.
support you. When a patient comes to a facilitator like us, maybe they don't know about the service provider we are going to propose to them. Maybe we say hospital ABC in Hurghada in Egypt is great. They may hear from us, but they will definitely like to do their own research. After listening from us, they will go back and do their own internet research. They will find your social media presence, your website, your Facebook, your Instagram, depending on what kind of services you are proposing. And if patient is not convinced with your overall media or your overall internet presence, they will think, oh, probably this company, they will start doubting our capabilities, our competence as well. They're not providing me the right options. So it is in your own benefit that while we do our job to show a patient to your door, you still have to make sure that your branding and your presence is felt by the patient.
Yes, patients are very smart now. They are not like patients of yesterday, and they will go directly to find the information and the trust themselves.
Right.
My last questions, not to take a lot of time from you, from your experience. What are your expectation or the requirements, not at the medical level now or the processing of the medical file, but at the hospitality level, and from also the culture diversities? If you can share some experience here or there with the patients from different nationalities, what they are expecting from us.
Sure. So while the hospitality question is little complicated, because as you rightly said, some countrymen have different expectation. Someone coming from Sudan will expect different things from you, while someone if traveling from, let's say, Germany, will expect something else. So what is in our interest to give a standardized services, because you cannot decide your services based on the type of car your customer is coming in. I think that would be very unfair. Whether our patient is poor or whether he is the king, we should standardize our services, and we should always give our best foot forward. And from an international perspective, I always tell it's a matter of pride for any service provider as well as the entire country, that people are coming to you from far away, from a different world, looking for treatment, right? So we should give them the actually they are our guests, so we should treat them not like someone we can pick as much money as possible, or do some hanky panking and let them go because they are not going to stay there. When someone is guest, you are more concerned, you want to make sure they are comfortable, they are well taken care of. Just to give you a perspective, what we have learned by managing these patients, they do not expect that they be feeling like king and they will have people running after them, or falling on them to help them. But at the same time, they expect that there is a sensitivity on the service provider side, that they are coming from a foreign land. They don't know the local culture, maybe they don't know the local food. So even if someone who is helping them is aware of the challenges which the
Yeah.
patient is going through, it is more than enough. We understand, maybe he come and ask you simple things. You know what, where can I shop a good clothes for my wife, I have to go back after 2 weeks. So, do not shrug them away. This is the hospitality, your simple help, you know, picking up from the airport, making sure once they arrive in your hospital on day one, you show them around, because maybe the process of protocols of your hospital, your country are different from how they are in their country. Maybe, how the process flow from billing to doctor consultation to this are, while it looks so natural to you because you have been seeing them since your childhood, it is completely alien to someone who is coming from a foreign land. So let us be sensitive. Let us not assume that, oh, it happens like this, everyone should know. Please, let's understand they may not be aware of our local processes, our system, our culture.
And this is the rule of the international patient department in the hospital only, or the rule of the whole staff, if we can say that, in the hospital?
Absolutely, absolutely. From top to bottom, not just international staff. I think even if, let's say, it's a billing person who comes to know this patient has traveled from Tanzania, we should definitely give them the respect of a guest who has come to them looking for help. Let us make sure they are comfortable. Even in a simple, small hand holding is more than enough. They would appreciate that these guys understood I am not local, but they were not telling me to go away and learn. They were ready to help.
Give them the customer experience needed.
Exactly.
Okay, if you would like to add something also as a final advice for a starting point in Hurghada here, I will be thankful for that.
So I think, sir, Hurghada, as you mentioned, is a newer destination, and I am happy that the hospitals are taking this step in making it a destination. It is definitely possible. Egypt has a very strategic location. It is very easy from anyone to travel from Africa or Europe to Egypt, and thankfully, I mean, we have all heard and gone back to history. Egypt has a very, very special place in the mind of the entire world. Egyptian civilization. The doctors of Egypt are known world over. So my only suggestion is, like, whatever what we have discussed in this conversation, simple things, query response, make sure doctors. Another small thing, if you can do and if it is possible, many a time patient would like to speak to the treating doctor before they come. So if you can offer something like this takes the confidence of the patient from here to here. Because by just reading an email or a PDF that you may have sent, okay, I have seen the report, patient need ABC, blah blah blah, it's fine. What we have learned, if we offer the patient, what, if you would like to talk to the doctor, let us arrange a quick 5 minutes or 10-minute conversation for you. This takes the confidence of the patient so high. They feel that now I have actually seen the doctor. There is actually human being sitting behind and reading my report and giving the confidence. So please be ready, because I don't think that our local person living in Hurghada or anyone in Egypt would request such services, because these are special privileges. We realize, we understand doctor's time is very valuable. Doctor have a lot of things to do in their daily life. They have to see patients in OPD, maybe they are operating, maybe they are doing camps. There are so many activities. So if we take small time or little time every day, every week, to offer such services to the patients who may be interested in traveling, in the beginning it takes their confidence very, very high.
Thank you for encouraging words, for the compliment about Egypt, and I know that India shared also the same history and the same great history and civilization. What you mentioned at the end also about the communication between the patient and the doctor, we have already prepared in Egypt in Touch to make this platform for telemedicine. It's ready and running now, and I will make sure that doctors in the hospitals attending training will be ready to use it for free in the beginning, at least for some time, to make this emotional bonding between the doctor and the patients just to start and to have the destination branding for some time. I would like to thank you for sincere and real words, knowledge, experience, and offer to help also with this video meeting. And I will be in touch with you soon about the result and to start our cases together in the new destination in Hurghada.
I really look forward for that. I really look forward for that, Dr. Asad, and I hope the travel restriction ease out. I would personally like to come and meet you and the hospitals, and we look forward for a great journey together.
Most welcome. Thank you again and have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Same to you.
Thank you.